Welcome. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. What was that? Literally, what was that? Do anybody know what we just witnessed today? Or are you still in shock? I mean, I saw it and I said, what? It cost you $300? I'm just going to tell you, it cost a lot of people a lot more than $300. It's a lot of people out here who lost a lot of money today, and things were not looking good. Well, there was a major problems on right from the beginning. And the major problem to what people didn't know until like when it was actually going down is I'm going to let you hear the problem. Here was the problem before the game.
What ultimately made you decide to kind of just stop practicing, stop shooting around, and do you expect to kind of continue that moving forward?
Well, I wanted to play some golf the last few days. I think we all felt a sense of exhaustion when we came back from the road trip. And I think some of it was the nature of the trip itself, flying all over the place, a lot of 3 a.m. arrivals at hotels, that sort of thing. And then some of it is just the overall feeling of the season. It's been an exhausting season for everybody, for every team, every player. The COVID protocols, the lack of emotional connection, not being able to see family or friends on the road, go out to dinner, all the normal things that you do to kind of fill up your cup and complete your social life. You don't have any of those things, so this season has been extremely draining, and it just felt like the right thing to do. The last few days, just say, don't come in. We'll meet at the game. Come on in and let's bring our energy for the game, conserve it, and bring it for the game. And so far, I think it's been really a good change. The guys seem to have responded well. They seem to have a pep in their step, and so it's we'll see how long we do it.
So the Warriors have not practiced in 10 days. 10 days, no shoot around, no practice, no nothing. Yes, you say the Mavs are a better team than the Warriors to a degree, yeah, but they're not 30 points better than the Warriors. They're not 28-0 run on the Warriors better than the Warriors. So, no. That's not acceptable on any grounds. And if you saw the game, it was the most pathetic performance in the first half I had seen. It was like they had quit in the second quarter. I mean, Dallas wanted the game way more than they did. Dallas lost yesterday. I knew they would lose because they lost to the Lakers, and I knew they would win tonight. And Luka was going to put on a show. they went after the Warriors early. They put the pressure on them. They kept coming after them. And the Warriors is just like lethargic, laid back. But when you haven't been practicing, this is why practice is very important. This is why it's essential. This is why it's something that you should never omit in a million years. Practice is so important. It's about building chemistry, continuity with the team. You need these things. These are essential. These building blocks are very essential in your growth. Now, I understand if you want to take a couple of days off, but to take 10 days off, to me, that's excessive. It's too excessive. I mean, it could have been exhaustion, 4 games in 6 nights. I understand taking a couple of days off. That's it. But to go like a week without any practice at all, or shoot around at least, and thinking guys are just going to walk into the game and be ready to go. As a coach, that should never happen. You should never go that long without a practice or shoot around. It leads to a flat performance like this. It was pitiful. The effort was pitiful. Wiggins was awful. A lot of players were awful. No, I didn't bet on the Warriors. I knew that Dallas just lost and won me the money yesterday. So I knew that they were going to win tonight. But Golden State isn't the only team that's playing this many games in this many nights. Look at Dallas. Dallas just played the Lakers. They played them Thursday night. They played Saturday night. They played Monday. And they played Tuesday. 4 games in 6 nights, Dallas just played. They won 3 out of 4. So you're not the only team that's exhausted. But you know what Dallas didn't do? They didn't take a week off from practice. So I look at that as to me it's different. I look at it a little different than probably how other people look at it. But for me, it was always a different outlook. Yep, I agree. What's up, MTD? Hit the like button like the button says. Don't forget, you can hit the Cash App up, Carcino, Karceno. You know? Now I'm going to send the link out in case people want to get in here. Hold on. You gotta understand. You gotta understand sports. That's the game that won me my money. Was the Dallas versus the Kings. I knew the Kings would win that game. You gotta understand the seeding process. They want. They want. What's up, Mr. Young?
Uh, I'm out of words.
You out of work?
Did that just happen?
Yeah,
It's like,
it just happened. Steve Kerr just happened. That's what happened.
yeah, well, I can't really put on Steve Kerr. It's not only Steve Kerr. I had to put it on Wiggins, Kelly Oubre. Guys just not putting up their shots up there, and especially Draymond, and just like I feel bad for Curry because he had to really put the load on his back and really had to carry a team. So that just tells me that they really need Clay that bad.
Well, it's not that they need Clay that bad. Of course, they're gonna need Clay Thompson back to play in his form that he was before. But the thing is, this was not even about that. This is about preparation. They didn't practice for 10 days. Steve Kerr said they needed a break. Dallas has played 4 games in 6 nights. The Mavs, just like them. Golden State. But all of a sudden, Golden State is the only team that's affected. Dallas didn't look like it had any problem. You know why? Because Dallas did not skip practice. They didn't skip shoot-arounds. So those guys came out and shot. Wiggins and those guys, if you've seen this season, the Golden State Warriors have been blown out by like 20-something plus points this season, more than anybody. Steph Curry had to yell at them, tell them I'll play with heart, all these different things.
Definitely.
Now, when you see that, and you know that this happened early on, now your team got momentum. You don't get away from shoot-arounds. Even if you're not going to have practice, you got to have shoot-arounds. You can't have your guys flat. You know you got to stay on these guys. Oh, you in there jamming.
No. But yeah, definitely just that something's not right with the Warriors. Something's not right with that team, especially with the coach Steve Kerr. Like he does need to be fired. Doesn't be fired and let go. Because I think this is time to let him go.
Somebody brought up a point. Lee is out, Bazemore and Pascal.
Yeah.
But you don't lose that. With that being said, you don't. And I mean don't. Absolutely don't get beat by 30 to the Mavs. You don't give up a 28-0. That's lack of preparation, lack of effort. 28-0 run in the second quarter, in 2 quarters, no.
That's unacceptable.
They had like 30 and a half, dog. They had less than 30 points at halftime. 29 points at the half.
In their home? That was the bad part for me. And they were home.
Now he's saying that they went on a long road trip. Dude, he's talking about a long road trip, 3 a.m. stops. Everybody's going to have those nights, but you got to have at least one shoot around. They had 10 days of no practice and no shoot around. 10. I'm understanding your guys need rest and from the shoot arounds and all of this, but this type of performance is not acceptable by any standpoint. That's lack of effort. They didn't give a damn, and you could tell in the second quarter from the body language. That was a lack of effort. What's up, HD?
Man, I was asleep and saw you on.
Glad you got a notification.
Yeah.
I'm surprised too, man. I wasn't getting them a few days. I had to have you on on my phone in one of my boxes on the Chrome. Make sure I catch you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. So Steve Kerr messing up again, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Here's what happened before the game. Y'all probably came in late. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it again. This is what happened before the game.
What ultimately made you decide to kind of just stop practicing, stop shooting around, and do you expect to kind of continue that moving forward?
I wanted to play some golf the last few days. I think we all felt a sense of exhaustion when we came back from the road trip. And I think some of it was the nature of the trip itself, flying all over the place, a lot of 3 a.m. arrivals at hotels, that sort of thing. And then some of it is just the overall feeling of the season. It's been an exhausting season for everybody, for every team, every player. The COVID protocols, the lack of emotional connection, not being able to see family or friends on the road, go out to dinner, all the normal things that you do to kind of fill up your cup and your social life. You don't have any of those things. It's extremely there's no right thing to do in the last few days. We needed the game. Come on in and bring our energy. So far, I think it's been really good change. The guys seem to have responded well. They seem to have anytime. So it's we'll see how long we do it.
So that's where they at, and that's what happened before the game. They have not practiced in 10 days. No shoot arounds, no nothing. 10 days. And they come out and put up this type of performance tonight. And people don't want to blame Steve Kerr.
Yeah, that's how they got blasted. I mean, as a coach, you supposed to practice like this is your job. I think these players forget that at the end of the day, this is your job. And I believe the coaches, they've become too soft. They become real soft on these players. I understand if you take a day off, but you cannot practice in 10 days and think you're going to come out and beat a team like the Mavs. The way the Mavs have been playing, they just came off of back-to-back. They beat the Lakers twice. So now they're coming in with confidence. Their confidence is riding high. And now that you didn't have any practice and you think you're just gonna go, this ain't the same Mavs team like that was struggling like when Dirk was old. This is a young team that wants it. Luka wants it. Tim Hardaway wants it. Finney Smith. All them guys are playing as a great unit this year. They really stepped up. And Steve Kerr, I said this last year, Steve Kerr should have been fired. He should have been fired. Last year, that's no excuse why they were getting blown out the way they were. I understand you didn't have Draymond or Steph out there, but you still had enough talent to at least be in the 10th seed or 9th seed last year. You were just playing like you were taking a vacation, and he does the same thing this year. It's like Steph, if it hasn't been for his big games this month, these guys I think will be in the 13th or 14th seed. I don't even think they will be that high. And it's been Steve Kerr's inept ability to get players up and to put his players in the right position to win. Now, I don't like Steve Nash in Brooklyn, but him and D'Antoni got them boys playing when Kyrie's been out, James Harden's been out, KD's been out. They still been beating teams that's over 500. So what's your excuse as a coach? I can't give you no pass. He should have been fired. I said this last year. He should have been gone. He don't know what he's doing. He's worried about. He's worried about, I guess, trying to be too cool for school and not actually coach because they got talent on that team. I don't see why you're struggling. Even if you're losing 2 guys, this is a regular season. Everybody has 3-4 players out of their team, and they're still out there playing. So there's no excuse. He should have been fired. He should have been let go last year. I still stick by what I said. He's a sorry coach.
I mean, it's hard to let go of a guy that's been to like 5 straight NBA finals.
Well,
they had 1 year, and it was
it's just bad.
But
I mean, they had a bad year. Yeah, they had a bad year, but they had injuries and guys out. So a guy, I can understand him not firing him last year. You know, like
I gave him a pass last
year. I would have been like, man, that's bold, but I'm with it.
Once KD went out the window,
they're putting you on the echelon of Chuck Daly and all of these great coaches. So that's
that's insane, but yeah.
Ain't no damn Chuck
Yeah,
Daly.
I gave him a pass off of last year just because due to the injuries, like in the circumstances in last year.
Mm-hmm.
But this year he ain't got no excuse, and it's like, what was you doing not practicing for 10 days?
Luke Walton and Mike Brown showed you anybody could have coached them teams. I'm sorry, there's no excuse.
He got a coaching job based off of him filling in.
But the players were coaching themselves one time when they showed on the bench.
Kerr got a back injury. He got a back injury because he was playing golf and messed up his back playing golf and then was getting injury pay off the NBA. Was in there like, oh, he's got a back injury. He's sitting on the bench. He couldn't. All he had to do was sit on the bench and couldn't do it. He had to be at home because he done messed up his back playing golf. Mm-hmm. See, they ain't mentioned none of that. The reason why Luke Walton took his spot. And they was like, man, Kerr is messed up. And then when they had my man come in there and take over, after he left, the brother Mike Brown come in there, and then Mike Brown come in there, and he was winning too. And I'm like, he was winning. The team was doing better than when Kerr was in there.
That's what I'm saying. And Mike Brown was with Cleveland. He was with Cleveland during LeBron's first 7 years, and he had lesser talent than Kerr ever had, and he coached better than Kerr. So I'm sorry, I didn't give him credit when they won the championship. I don't give him credit now. The guy's a bum. He should have never been the coach. It should have been Mark Jackson's team, and they would have been fine. Even if they didn't have Steph and Clay in them, Mark still could have coached his team better than what he's doing. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting on the sideline like he's in La La Land. Like he's not even making adjustments. Their adjustments are so terrible, like in game. It's like he just sits there and let it get out of hand. Then he wants to call a timeout. It's like it's too late. You down 15 or 20.
That game was freaking atrocious, dog.
It was like something you watching like you 2K because like
it's the Phil Jackson system. Everything he know about coaching, he learned from Phil Jackson.
There you go.
Yeah, it was just
Phil and Pop are like night and day when it comes to coaching. There's two different styles. Phil Jackson has that philosophy of I'm gonna let the players play themselves out, but he also had veteran players. Like when he came in, he had veterans on the team that knew how to play, or they already had a core where they could go to a championship.
Right.
When he came there, Kobe was in his third or fourth season.
Third.
He was starting to, about his third or fourth year.
He was in his fourth season.
Yeah, fourth
season.
He came in 99 or 2000?
No, he came in 99. The 99-2000 season, they won the championship.
Yep, as soon as he got there. As soon as he got Phil, they went to the championship and won it. Now, when they got there and Kobe got there, they had just gotten rid of Eddie. They made a decision to keep Kobe and let Eddie go. And that pissed Shaq off.
And Nick Van Exel. They let Nick go too.
And yeah.
They split that core up, and Shaq didn't like that. Shaq felt Kobe was the reason why. And Kobe should have been gone. and they should have kept Eddie Jones.
Play Shaq.
Because Eddie was they felt Eddie was more veteran, leadership and everything else, but they knew that the ownership was heavy on Kobe. Kobe had star appeal, so they were like, look, everybody's saying he's the new Jordan. All this stuff.
Not just that, because they knew
He's
Kobe
in
was.
LA. You think
No, they
that
needed
was super
to get
marketable
rid of
dude in
Eddie
LA?
Jones. Them last 3 years that before Phil got there, Eddie and Nick weren't coming up big. They were choking and they were making some bad decisions.
Big Van Exel, especially. Big
Right.
Van Exel.
And if
Right.
Playoff.
if they would have kept Eddie Jones, then Kobe wouldn't have flourished the way he would have like that.
Right. Because Kobe came into that Utah game because you did the video.
Yeah.
About
They was about to give up that series.
where he took the shots, and he's the only one with the cojones that would shoot the shots and try to make the shots. Like the rest of them guys weren't built like that. Them guys was nothing but complimentary players. And
damn well
Shaq was the lead guy of the team. He wasn't leading them over the top, so they needed to get rid of them.
And that's my thing is like, and this is when people try to bring Shaq up into the categories and they bring him up to putting him up there as the top players. I'm like, dude, you were getting beat by teams that had Greg Ostertag.
Yes.
Greg Oster, yeah.
Hey, you remember you said that the other night? Greg Ostertag shut him down. Remember, I told you.
Yeah, I'm like,
business.
Yeah.
How does become bashing Shaq?
I'm like, dog, Shaq played like from 92. I'm like, Shaq came here in 92. He played 4 years.
93, 94, 95, 96,
93, 94, 95.
It took him about 6 or 7 years to even get to the point where he's becoming.
He played 4 years in Orlando, and he left at the end of the 1996 when
they got beat by the Heat. They got beat by the Heat 3-2 first round, and he walked off the court.
No.
No.
They got beat by the Bulls.
Bulls.
They got beat by the Bulls. They got swept by the Bulls.
They lost to the Heat the next year, and then he went to LA.
Shaq wasn't that. No, Shaq left then. They didn't know. When they lost the Bulls,
it was like he wasn't worth $100 million and all. Yeah.
They were gone then.
Yeah.
Shaq left right after the Bulls, 96. He left right then. When they lost to the Bulls that year, that's what I'm saying. He ruined that team. Penny was going there for Dream Team 3. Penny was going to play for Dream Team 3.
You're right. Yeah. You're right, because Penny got hurt on that season. Yep.
Yeah, so Penny got hurt on that season. And then they came back in the playoffs, and they won 2 games. They actually, like, Penny scored like 40 in consecutive.
Yeah, they lost 3-2. They lost 3-2.
They lost 3-2.
Yeah.
Because of Penny went off some performances, man, and he was just so mad at his team. He had went and sat by himself. He didn't even sit on the bench. Penny was sitting by himself, like, man, we could actually beat the Heat.
They could
have.
You had Horace out there. He didn't come up big. Rodman shut him down in the playoffs.
Of course.
And then you had Shaq getting dominated by. Rodman shut down him and Bam. he just mentally took them out of the game. So Jordan and Scotty could just do whatever. But that's how they beat Orlando.
They beat Orlando, and that's how they ended up beating Seattle in the finals.
Shaq came up small again. And then it was the conflict of him and Kobe. Him and Penny. And then he ended up leaving it and going to LA. And when he went to LA, and when he went to LA, they had just drafted Kobe. So I'm like, they were there 4 years. Shaq was there, and he wasn't winning.
And he was not winning. He was getting thrown out by Utah.
You came on a team that had Nick Van Exel. You had Nick at Night.
They had Sabalos too.
Yep, you had
Kersey off the bench. They had Kersey off the bench. They had a whip, dog.
They had
enough to go against them.
Did something, dog. Them first 3 years he was in LA, they should have did better. You had a whip. They had a nice little squad for him.
And was going out in the first round.
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Then they were going up against the Bulls and getting blown out by 20 and 30.
Yeah.
With Shaq. I'm like, y'all got Shaq and y'all getting housed by 20 and 30 to the Bulls. I'm like, how?
But
I
it
mean,
just shows you.
this man scoreless for an entire second half.
Oh,
I will never forget that. In the history of basketball, Shaq was held scoreless for the whole
second half. Shaq was shut down.
And that showed me how strong he was because he was all mad trying to just wail his arms. He had Shaq with arms.
He was solid, dog. He was solid.
Like, you are not strong, dude.
Real. Like, dude,
Wilt Chamberlain broke down all those centers, man. He broke all of them down to a T. And he said about Shaq uses his physical too much. He don't have any moves, and he's not skilled. And that's his problem. He relied on his athleticism. And as he got older, I mean, it was easy to guard Shaq because people forget in that Blazers series, if Kobe and the role players didn't step up, they were going to lose that game because the Blazers were kicking their butt all in game 7. Bonzi Wells was killing them. Stoudemire was killing them.
Rasheed Smith was getting off.
Rasheed killed them for 7 games. That Blazers team should have beat them. They just couldn't keep their cool.
That was Scottie Pippen's fault. Scotty's not a leader.
Yeah, Scotty.
And that's what happened when you got somebody like Scotty who don't know what the hell he doing as far as leadership. He gonna take his championship rings and bring them into the locker room and show them. Like, I took my rings in there to motivate them, to let them know what this is about.
Motivate them.
They don't give a damn
role player. You are a role player, bro. Stop.
Right. They was like, dog, show me on the court. When the game was on the line, y'all was up 13 points in the fourth quarter. And to lose that game up 13 in the fourth.
It was like 15 or 18.
It might have been.
It was like 20.
It might have been more than that, but I'm saying 13.
Kobe had that crazy second half, that crazy third quarter.
Yeah,
that brought him all the way back. That was like game 6 or something.
He was just,
because they was
he was just taking advantage of Scotty, dog. For real.
Yeah, but that game 7, they blew game 6, but game 7 was the one they had a 13-point lead in the fourth quarter, and everybody like, man, this is it for the Lakers. They about to lose.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was over.
Smith hit that 3, and then they went scoreless. I mean, scoreless.
And then Shaq fouled Steve Smith. I'm still mad about that. He fouled Smitty. He knocked Smitty out the game.
They got away with it.
I mean, but you know that was, if it came down to it, you know that down the stretch you ain't finna get no calls now. Y'all are 13 in the fourth. The refs don't get involved, but you got to put the ball in the basket. That's the only thing that stops that. And they were panicking. The moment was getting to them. This is where Scotty got to step in and be Scotty.
See, that's my thing.
Scotty, this is where they need your leadership. This is where your experience come in at. This is where you say, okay, I'm finna get this bucket for us. You know, I'm gonna show you this is what we do in the clutch. You got to take charge. He did. He was trying to play like a regular season game.
See, and that's why that's why I think Portland didn't win, because really they really didn't have that one guy that was gonna take over. When the game got tight, and Scottie Pippen damn sure wasn't gonna end up being that guy anyway. As far as I'm concerned,
you don't know what being that guy is.
Hell no.
Man, I keep telling y'all, I don't remember Scotty doing nothing. I don't care what y'all tell me. I don't remember him hitting I don't remember him hitting the big shot. I didn't see him. I saw Horace Grant hit more big shots than him.
He got off in 94.
Scotty doing nothing.
No, Horace got off in 94.
Horace was going off.
BJ Armstrong.
Horace and BJ Armstrong got off.
BJ Armstrong, they was both all-stars that year. And Kukoc was hitting big shots.
BJ Armstrong and Kukoc game with a shot.
Chicago was doing their thing, including Pippen.
Okay, that's fine. But what happened the next year in 95? What happened the next year in 95, though?
LB, I'm with my boy Detroit T. Scotty don't get no bail, son. None. He don't get no bail.
He was straight.
He done. He
was done when he left after the ball. He was done.
Let me tell you what Scotty was straight because Horace was playing for a contract. He was leaving. So Horace Grant played. That was his. He made it to the All-Star game that year for the first time in his career.
Him and BJ made the All-Star game.
BJ made the All-Star game because they were playing out of control that first half.
Yeah, it was
so Scotty
going crazy.
was free. Scotty was free to roam, play the point. The game didn't change for him. And when the games got tight, Tony Kukoc, who was a rookie, was hitting all the games.
All those big shots.
No love, dog.
And I was just about to say, y'all forget. People forget how much they showed it in The Last Dance. You know what I'm saying? How they were trying to look to it.
That's what I love about The Last Dance because it validated me. I made these videos years ago, and people were like, "Man, dog, you were right."
It validated you, and it validated a whole bunch. It validated a whole bunch of stuff that I already knew. So
I didn't need The Last Dance.
It was like they were. He did a lot of pouting, a lot of sulking that year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
he was crying.
If Scottie Pippen was really that guy, man, then the Bulls wouldn't have been on the brink of not making the playoffs in '95. Mike had to jump back in the game and save his ass.
Right. Yeah. Mike always saved him. Mike always saved Scotty, dog. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, Scotty always get this credit. It's like, dude, you had BJ Armstrong who was going off that whole early part of the year. BJ was killing. Nobody seen BJ coming. Then you had Kukoc off the bench just hitting big three after big three. You didn't have to do nothing. So what did you really have to do? Horace was
Bulls fans kill me with that because they don't remember the next season. I'm like, the next season kickoff. What happened? You had no Horace Grant. It's like, okay, it's all you, Scotty. What's going on? All of a sudden, Scotty was tough, and they were about to miss the playoffs. Jordan had to come back and save them. So I'm like, Jordan didn't come back.
All the Bulls fans all the Bulls fans was hiding. They was all hiding when that season happened. I remember that season because we played the Bulls and we was whooping Scotty butt all up and down the floor. We was killing them that season. I remember that season. Then Michael came back and had to save him. I remember that because he was like this. He was doing this with his shoe.
He started throwing chairs on the court. He started throwing chairs on the court. Because
I remember that too. I saw he was throwing all of them on the. He was throwing.
He went Bobby Knight crazy.
Yeah,
he was mad about it. He was mad about his contract. He was mad that Phil Jackson was was calling him out. You know what I'm saying? He was mad because Mike was gone. You know what I'm saying? He was just mad. He was just in a bad spot.
I can understand he being mad about the contract.
Scotty against the world.
That too. That's
You signed it. You signed it. You put yourself in that jam. So you gotta find it.
It is what it is. Listen,
that's his fault. That's not nobody. Nobody put a gun to Scotty's head saying, "Yo,
I'm not going to fight it."
Right, the ownership don't have to come to you and say, "All right, well, let's renegotiate, Scotty." Why? I don't have to. You signed already.
I'm paying the contract. I'm just saying, like, I understand why you mad. I understand that you frustrated.
I don't understand. That's like
you're in a position where you can.
Go ahead.
You can put yourself out and had 65 different kids. It ain't they.
No, you put yourself in that situation.
You're in a position where you can make yourself. You're in a situation where you can make yourself like invaluable to the team. You know what I'm saying? Because Mike gone, everybody looking at you like you. So you in a position where you control your own destiny, kind of, and you used it to pout.
So his contract was up. He was able to get all this extra money. He made like $100 million. After that, he made more money than Mike did in the league.
Yeah, he did.
So that's what I'm like. Look, Mike only got his money the last 3 years.
Yep.
From the league. Other than that, they was getting paid like $3 million a year. I'm like,
you talking league? You talking endorsements? Like anything outside of that? Or you just talking?
He's not talking about endorsements. What endorsements put him up there? But as far as contract and money, Scotty made more than Mike did. With the contract, he did.
Yeah, Joe was making what under 40, right?
Yeah, Jordan was making real less.
He was like making like
Like you said, up until the last 3 seasons, he was making. I think he was making max like $5 million a year. You know what I'm saying?
He had like a $33 million contract or something like that, right, Jordan?
Yeah, and when he came back,
that was last 3 years.
That was like 98.
Yeah,
right?
he signed 1 for 25, 1 for like 30, and 1 for 40.
Exactly.
No, because I remember like 97, he had like 2.25 million.
Right.
I was like, bro.
And I was like,
I
wow.
don't think he cared. Well, he cared.
He didn't really care.
Yeah, because people always say, man,
but
you get
he was
like
getting
40
so
million
much
a year
outside
from
of
Nike.
NBA. It was like, no.
People
Man,
make
Mike-
like 40 million a year off Jordans.
Man,
So
Mike
it
should have been
was
making
like,
way
man,
more money than that on the court.
He had
I'm
the
not
Warner
a
Brothers
Michael
deal. He had the Warner
I'm
Brothers
not a
deal.
Michael
The Be
fan.
Like
He
Mike
should have got
Gatorade
paid
deal.
way more money.
He had like mass Wheaties.
That shows you how much of a crappy organization the Chicago Bulls really are, and how much of a garbage owner that Jerry Reinsdorf is.
But that was the league's salary at the time. Once the rookies start coming in,
They're not getting paid back. Like back then, not the
80 million
like
guaranteed,
now,
and they ain't even played and did prove nothing. So the Players Association was having meetings about that. That's why they came up with the rookie cap, because it was insulting. Glenn Robinson, big dog, was the last one to come in and get that big money. He got like 60 million guaranteed out the rookie deal. So, you know, they was like, this is insane. We paying rookies who ain't even proving themselves, and we built this league. You know what it is, and guys still getting $3 million, $4 million, and it's like it's ridiculous.
They kind of changed it again with the rookie because you had LeBron coming in, Melo. It was LeBron, Melo. It was somebody else. Zion Williamson. Yeah, LeBron, Melo, Zion Williamson. Like they was getting like big.
LeBron didn't make nothing like that on his rookie deal. LeBron got his money for the endorsement.
LeBron got what, 190 million?
Nike gave him.
No,
yeah, Nike. There's a standard rookie contract.
No,
I'm talking
about basketball.
about NBA contracts.
Right. LeBron didn't get paid that much on his NBA contract. He got his money from that endorsement deal. Right. He got paid $100 million for that
contract deal.
His rookie contract
it was 3 years. It was 3 years, 12.96 million.
Right.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 million a year. Depending on where you land in the draft, it's like incrementally higher, but it's still all around like 4 or 5 mil a year. You know what I'm saying? For the first few years you in the league.
What about today's league?
It's a rookie cap.
Is Zion getting the rookie? Did he get the rookie standard?
Yeah.
They all do.
When you're a number one pick like them, you get your money in endorsements.
Right.
Yeah. So you're not gonna be like hurting like everybody else, but as far as your salary, you're just like everybody else.
No. I thought that Adam Silver like changed the.
No, he didn't change
that. No. Every 3 years, like you can have a 3-year option. Like they could sign you after like like they want to do an extension with you. They can extend your deal if you want to do that. Like after 1 or 2 years. You know, like after LeBron first year, second year, they was going to make him a massive deal. They tried to get him with a 6-year deal, and he did a short-term deal for 3.
Right.
Remember, he didn't sign a long-term deal. He signed a short-term deal where he convinced Wade and the rest of them to sign 3 years. So therefore, they take less money, and that way the team could save money to go get other players and put them on the team. To like help.
Right. And you're not paying rookies more than players that's been in the league 9, 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like NFL went through the same thing. This is why Matt Stafford is like he's like the highest grossing quarterback ever because he was the last year. This year was the last year where they had the rookies can make whatever they negotiated for. You know what I'm saying? That he's like scheduled to be like the highest paid grossing quarterback ever in history.
Correct. Yep. That's how they like
Stafford.
Matt Stafford. Him. Injury prone man.
They call him Stafford, baby. Get them stats.
Yeah, Pat Stafford.
Yeah, Pat Stafford. Yeah, that's his name. He was the first Dak Prescott, man.
You would figure it would be Tom, but I don't get it, bro. You would think it would be Brady, Like,
Well,
That was
Brady was
Brady.
like a
Brady
seventh
don't
round
have
pick.
that.
So he didn't have, when you a seventh round pick, you ain't gonna make that much, no ways.
At
You know what I'm
all.
saying? Stafford came in, he was the number one pick overall. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And like I say, back before they signed that CBA, what was it like 2010 or whatever it was? You know what I'm saying? The rookies,
Yep.
the rookies can make whatever they can negotiate. You know what I'm saying? So people was doing these big $70 million, you don't remember these $70-80 million deals when they first get in the league. You know what I'm saying? And the
I remember
NFL was
that.
like, man.
Because that set a lot of teams back when like guys like John Carter and all them didn't pan out. That messed their whole salary.
What
I
Jamarcus Russell, he was one. He was
Marcus
one. He was
Russell.
I forgot how much
super
Vic came in with. Like, I forgot how much like he got signed for. Mike Vick.
Yeah, Mike Vick got 2 $100 million contracts in his
Yeah, he
career.
came in off the rip.
Yeah, don't forget about his Eagles money, baby. When he came back, he made money with the Eagles.
No, that's why I said he made 2
that was a
$100
max
million
deal.
contracts. He had
Wait,
one.
he had a $100 million contract with the Eagles?
Yeah, he had one with the Eagles, and he had one with Atlanta.
He tried out for the Eagles. He did so well. The next season, they paid him off immediately. Broke him off.
That was like after the dog shit.
Right. But he played
Because
so well
Donovan
that one
McNabb
year he came back.
They let Donovan.
Oh yeah,
McNabb
because
go.
Donovan went to Washington.
Right.
Yep, he went to Washington.
And him and Shanahan both heads.
Because
Like
I
I
remember
knew
he came back to Chicago and he did the homecoming. Remember they used to do ESPN homecoming.
Yep.
They had Donovan come home and they had all the people speak. Andy Reid, everybody came there.
Yep.
So Cuzzo did his thing, man. He get no respect for what he did for Philly
at all, and that pissed me off. I'm like, dude, y'all was trash.
And he used to get hated on by Jaws all the time because Jaws is jealous of him. Because I'm like, Jaws is on Monday Night Football hating on him because he breaking all his records.
Yeah, he was way better than Jaws. Jaws was good, but he wasn't messing with no McNabb. Hell
I'm
no.
like, Jaws, he's in the NFC Championship game every year. And it's not his fault that they ain't winning it.
Right.
Y'all didn't give him no weapons at all. Y'all gave him one star receiver, and they go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
1 year.
But remember Westbrook was hurt when Westbrook finally was there and T.O. got hurt. And then Westbrook was there. That got them to the Super Bowl because nobody could guard Westbrook. Westbrook played.
That was his go-to. Michael Westbrook.
They could not stop him. He was unstoppable that year.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how the Eagles and that's how Andy's offense is designed, is to pass to the running back.
Right.
He basically, that was his whole thing. It's like, I need a running back to pass to. That's his whole game.
They had a possible chance of winning that Super Bowl back then anyway.
Westbrook was like they number one receiving back, but they had another guy that did the same thing as Westbrook.
Buckholter. Deuce and Buckholter. Deuce and Correll Buckholter.
Buckholter, they had Buckholter. Deuce was more running, but they had Buckholter that did it. But I could have sworn it was another.
Deuce Staley. It was Staley.
It wasn't Deuce. It was another guy that was just like Westbrook.
Brian Mitchell, I think. Wasn't it Mitchell?
Yeah, Brian Mitchell.
Yeah, it was Brian Mitchell, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he was just like Westbrook. He was their guy. They throw the ball to him. He had about as many reception yards as he did rushing yards.
And he
was their leading receiver. Like he was like they leading receiver, the running back. So that's what I'm saying. They never really got the wide receiver game, and he could throw it. Like Donovan could sling it 50, 60 yards down the field.
Absolutely. I mean, him and McNair were probably the two best quarterbacks at that time. Like next to Brady and them.
I can never say anything negative about it. Oh, wait, hold on. I cannot. Hold on. They got Steve Kerr after the game. I got to hear little Steve's comments after losing by 30.
They came out like it was a playoff game. They came out like an exhibition.
It just brings me blowing out. I mean, we know the context of the season where we're at. Like I said last time, or 2 nights ago when I was up here, it was the biggest game because it was the one That was the next. Trying to stay in the moment. Dropped the ball. Didn't play well. Got blown out.
I'm disappointed in myself for not having a better prepared. I'm disappointed in the way we just didn't meet the challenges. It's a shame, but we got 10 games left and we've got a lot to play for. And we will be better prepared next game. I know that.
Oh yeah, now he want to talk about preparation.
One, two, three.
Yeah,
Cancun.
10 days, dog. No practice and shoot around. That's
you, man. He's a joke. He's a joke, bro. He's a joke.
To be fired out.
Now,
I mean, they really don't have a choice, man. They play so one dimensional. You know, it's like shooting was something that they could always do, but it was never just like the foundation of their game. You know what I'm saying? They were a balanced all around team. You know what I'm saying? They just don't have it. They don't got the horses for it like that no more.
Plus, their defense is lackluster, bro. I mean, I've seen so many wide open shots and open layups that they gave up this game. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. This is
what
terrible.
I'm saying though. They would never just no 3-point shooting team. That's all they do now is shoot threes.
Right. They used to go to the hole. They used to go to the hole. They used to set the back screens for one another.
Right. They go to the hole like flawless. Like they would go to the hole flawless. It's like running execution, the plays they ran to get down there, the sets.
To me, when they're hurt
on the baseline, I'm like, man, this is incredible. Golden State, they flawless with what they running.
Right.
And it was like simple basketball to them.
Yep.
But you know, when they hurt the most, what also made them so good is, I mean, they shoot a lot of threes, but man, they had a lot of rebounders on the floor. Yeah. So when they do take them long shots, they got a good chance of getting an offensive rebound and kicking it back up for another shot. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
second chance.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They would kill teams with that. They don't have no rebounders out there.
They had Wiseman and he got hurt.
He hurt. You know?
He got hurt.
Yeah.
Draymond, he's averaging like a career low in rebounds.
Triple singles, being out, you know, Bazemore's not there.
Right.
They got another. Damian Lee is out, but I know Pascal really hurt them because he was balling well.
Yeah, Pascal was doing his thing, man.
I love Pascal.
I like Pascal.
He's there.
Man, these idiots just cost me the money, man. The damn y'all 7-4, damn dumb bastards, man. These San Francisco Giants can cost me this money, man. All they had to do was win.
Oh yeah, I meant to say HD, man. Good video about the interview with what was it, Chris? What was his name? Chris Hayes.
Dr. J. Yeah, man, it was a great video. If y'all have a chance, go listen to that. Dr. J on the Chris Haynes show.
Oh yeah, I got my video made. I just ain't uploaded it yet. But yeah, I did that on Doc.
Dr. J talked. He gave a lot of respect to Connie Hawkins and Elgin Baylor, and Chris Haynes. Yeah. And Chris Haynes was saying his dad. He asked Dr. J who he looked up to, who was his guy, and his dad told him, "Oh, if it's Dr. J, you know it's gonna be Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor's gonna be that guy he looked up to." And he said Elgin Baylor, so he talked about Elgin Baylor, what he did for him and all the others, and how they looked up to him. He gave shout out to Oscar Robertson. Like he said, his top 5 is Oscar, Will, Jerry, and Elgin Baylor. Those are his guys.
Bill Russell.
Yep, Bill Russell. Those are his 5 guys, man. He gave them a lot of respect. I just disagreed with him with the Karl Malone on the second team. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying?
But I understand.
Yeah, I do too.
Karl was a guy that was very successful at his position. Yeah, and I'm like, every year Karl was consistent. But when it came down to the games down the stretch, when the game was on the line, it came up small. That was a major thing for me. I was like, and I noticed it the first year when he got MVP.
Yeah, man, don't deliver on Sundays.
And the Bulls, Yeah, you know, when it was time to come up big, you know, he didn't come up big all series. You know, so I'm like, that was on him.
Did Dr.
That
J
was
have
his
beef with
MVP.
Isaiah Spino?
Huh?
Did Dr. J and Isaiah, did they have any back and forth back in the day or something? Because he didn't even put Isaiah on that second team.
No, well, I wouldn't expect Doc to, because Isaiah was really 3 years in the league when Doc was leaving.
Right.
You know, so he's not really part of that era.
Right, because him picking Magic, he played against.
Yeah, and I said it on my video.
Because he picked Magic, Michael, Bird, Malone, and Kareem.
Yeah. But I'm like, he got Oscar and Magic as his point. So I'm like, I can see him not putting Isaiah there.
Okay, I got you. Right.
You know, so he got Oscar and Magic. You know, he's not gonna put Isaiah over Magic and Oscar. You know, that's Doc. Right. So I knew why Doc was not gonna do that, but yeah, the title of my video got like, he left LeBron out the list.
That was great.
My video is done.
What would make him say LeBron?
He didn't say LeBron because he said LeBron would bring his own team. You know, he would bring his own team.
I explained everything, why Doc went that way, everything. I'm like,
he broke it down. Yeah, he broke it down. Why? He broke it down.
Yeah.
He broke it down.
Which shows you that
entire interview. That was it.
Yeah, exactly. Which shows you that these great players from the past, they don't respect this dude.
They don't. They really don't.
Well, everybody knows that.
Yeah, of course. But that furthermore confirms it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When is somebody just gonna come out and say, like, look, listen, he sucked? Like, I'm just waiting for that one player to do that.
Bro. Like, that's what I want to hear.
I just want to see. I'm not gonna be like, yo.
Dennis Rodman is the only player that basically said that this guy.
He didn't say no. I'm not talking about no roundabout way or like close to. No, it's just straight up. No, he trash. Straight up. No cap.
I mean, he basically did. He said he had no moves, bro.
Right.
He didn't have any moves.
He has no. No, I'm talking about him. Somebody out their mouth saying it straight up in these exact words. He's trash, overrated.
I mean, they're not
none of that. Do whatever you want to do.
They're not going to come out and say that like that. I understand why, because, you know, they're not saying, they don't feel he's trash. They just feel he's not on that level like a Kobe or Tim Duncan. Like them younger guys, they look at them as the killers. Like Tim, Kobe, AG, and them guys. They just see Bron as a guy who was able to get what he wanted, which was he could pick who he wants on his team, and he wants to be friends with everybody. I mean, that's not how they grew up. They grew up like Jerry West. Look, I wanted to kill you. I don't like you. You're not on my team.
I don't want to join your bandwagon. I want to beat you to show that I'm better than you.
Right. And that's what I made the video about Jerry West and Jenny Buss. And
I love
that
video. That video was that's how I felt, how Jerry West felt. Why is she here? She needs to go to the volleyball team, and that's what she needs to do. Like, get the hell out of here.
Right. You know, the thing is that Jerry West knew, like, okay, he was doing something like she's good for the celebrities. That's what Jenny was there. She's there to fraternize with the celebrities. She was the face, but she was never about basketball. Like, you're not going to get her to make basketball decisions.
No. I think everybody ain't not about no basketball. She just knows how to like put people in place. But everybody else do the work for us. She just signs them.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's her with her because she a woman.
But I'm just saying, like,
the thing is that she tried to take that man's job and put Phil Jackson.
Exactly.
Terrible.
She was dating Phil, you know, and Phil was using her, and Phil was trying to use his influence, and Jerry was like, look, either me or Phil. You know, so look, I'm gonna tell you that I brought Phil Jackson here. You know, like, I'm the reason that Phil came here and got the job and all of this stuff. Like, I approved it. and saying, okay, we can get Phil Jackson in here and, you know, run the team. And his ego is too much. And he's dating Jenny, and, you know, this is throwing everything off. The son is pissed off. Jerry West don't like it, thinks he's disgusting human being. So I'm like, there's a lot of people. Like, that's why he wasn't able to run the Lakers the way he wanted to, because the son was never going to let that happen, you dating his sister.
Right. Yeah, bro. Like,
Because I think what they said also, Cena, what I read the other day is if the brothers didn't get fired, they were going to try to bring Jerry back to the Lakers. They were going to bring Jerry to run everything, and they were going to just sit back and chill. So that
Jerry West was going to run the Lakers. That was what was going to happen if the brothers were in charge still.
Right.
But Jenny she put a junction, got the board, and she got control of the team. That was out of the question. So
hold on. What do you mean run the Lakers? You mean GM or
no?
He president of basketball operations.
The president of operations.
Oh, the president.
Run everything.
Pretty much what Magic was doing.
What Magic was doing. Right, but better.
No, the thing was this. He was going to actually do the job because that's his job there. When he was with Golden State, like I did the video today, y'all probably didn't see it, with the Golden State Warriors trade with Kevin Love. Remember the Klay Thompson, Kevin Love trade? So yeah, that was the whole trade was done. It was going to be done if Jerry West didn't veto it because he was working with Golden State. Right. He the reason that they got the players they got, and he was like, "No, don't trade Klay Thompson."
Yeah,
but Kevin Love.
They got Kevin Durant too, because remember, Kevin Durant was finna go back, and then they paid Jerry West to go bring Kevin Durant back to the table to get him signed for the Warriors.
See, man, that's the greatness of Jerry West, dog. Not just as a
Jerry
player,
West, that guy,
official, bro. I'm telling you.
Well, Jerry West has always been a person who recognizes talent. That's why they keep him around. So when he got signed by Ballmer and went to the Clippers, he knew to get. They like, look, we get Kawhi Leonard. That's the player we need. We build around Kawhi Leonard. This is the guy we want. This is the guy we need. So as soon as he got there, he knew I got to get rid of Doc Rivers. First thing he did was stop Doc. Doc was under contract, so they said, all right, well, let's let him play this year out, and then we getting rid of him. Doc was going to go. If they didn't win the NBA championship, he was gone anyway. So they were not re-signing Doc.
So they bring in Ty Lue?
No, Ty Lue was brought in already because he's played for the bare minimum. Right. So you get it right. It's like we ain't gonna spend all this money on no head coach.
Jerry West is doing what Pat Riley's doing in Miami. He's working through the coach. That's all he's doing. He's working through the coach. He put Ty Lue there because he knows Ty Lue's gonna do what he wants him to do, and he knows that what he needs done, Ty ain't gonna see. Doc Rivers is like Phil. They got two strong personalities. Jerry can't work with that. Jerry gonna fight Doc. So he brought Ty there.
Doc had decision making. He had two roles. He was basically the general manager and the head coach of the Clippers. Jerry was stripped. He could no longer be in control of personnel.
You know he was gone when he started talking about the 76ers. I was like, wait, what is going on? Like, what is going on here? Like,
Doc knew he was leaving. Doc could care less. He knew he was leaving. And he knew he was gone. And now they like, look at what Doc has done to the 76ers. I'm like, no, not really.
They're going to flame out the playoffs because Ben can't shoot.
I ain't blaming that on Doc. I'm blaming that on Ben. I'm not blaming nothing on Doc.
But dude, if the old coach really, if they had him, if Ben would just take a shot and shoot, they would have went far with that coach.
They made it look like Ben.
The only thing that Doc needs to do is learn. Just tell him, like, listen, look, MB's our guy. You're a second. Simple as that.
He's actually the third because Tobias been out playing Ben Simmons all year, so he's actually the third.
For marketing, but for like political reasons, they're gonna Ben Simmons gonna be the guy. So it's like even though Embiid should be the number one option.
He is the number one option. He's the system.
They don't treat him like that. They treat Ben Simmons like he's like the golden child.
Who was the media?
The media does because that's Clutch Sports at work doing that crap.
The media,
everybody on the court
just follows what the media is saying. Like it's like, dude, like what are y'all doing? It's like, cause Embiid is dropping like 40 and shit. So it's like, what are y'all like?
Hey man, the real is gonna recognize the real, dog.
Right.
The real is gonna recognize that Joel Embiid.
He is superstar dropping 11. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's everybody who actually watch ball know is Embiid and Tobias, like they're the guys that's the best players on the team. Everybody else is role players. Ben Simmons not even to me better than Shake Milton. I think Shake.
I mean, here's the thing: they trying to make him a defensive stopper. He came back yesterday.
Right? Yeah, they had him in the running for defensive player of the year. They got this man in the running for defensive player of the year, and it's like, who is he shut down?
OG ain't nobody has been shutting everybody down in Toronto. That guy's a better defender.
I kept telling everybody that's the killer. Everybody was talking about that Pascal Siakam guy. The real OG, man. He that guy.
So you got Rudy on defense. You got OG, and then they keep promoting this Ben Simmons because that's Clutch Sports.
No,
that's a media.
He sucks. Yeah, he's terrible. Drew Holiday's been defending better than him all year.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Beast, dog. That man, people better watch Milwaukee. Drew been killing out there.
Yes, I mean anything was better than old Bledsoe. He got rock body out there.
Yeah, boy. I mean, Bledsoe be on some Houdini shit, bro. Like, bro, I mean, he's disappearing, bro.
I mean, no, he played like one of them dudes you see on the blacktop outside playing in those 30s and older tournaments.
I take
3-on-3. Rock body.
I'll take hot sauce over him, dog.
Oh, yeah. Almost definitely.
I'll take hot sauce and AO from Man 1 over him, dog.
Man, I'll take Escalade over him, man.
I'll take Escalade over him. Man.
Big Escalade.
Now we bring football players
in this damn game, man.
I don't like Bledsoe, dog. Bledsoe is terrible, yo.
He's terrible. But that's LeBron's boy. That's who LeBron tried to trade Kyrie for. He thought Bled was better than Kyrie.
Has he been watching what Brooklyn been doing? Kyrie been out there killing guys.
That's what that is.
He didn't mess that up. He messed Cleveland up with that.
Yep.
He messed Cleveland up with that, trying to secretly trade Kyrie Irving to get Bledsoe in from Phoenix. When he did that and Kyrie was going to be in Phoenix, man, Kyrie was like, what?
Yeah, he was like, hold on, for real. And then, of course, the crazy part about all of this is LeBron, when he was approached about it, he tried to act like nothing happened, like he had no idea what was going on. Like, oh no,
See, he ain't the way. Kyrie ain't Dwayne Wade. He ain't finna just take it. Like, what? You didn't know?
No,
well, I didn't know. Like,
Kyrie is all out.
Come on, man. Bottom line is they wouldn't even think about trading them if LeBron wanted them there.
Right.
They wouldn't even question.
Do the whole story.
Talking about Ben is a good defender. Who he shut down?
Who is he shut down, bro? Who?
These guys out
Who need to get dropped?
Paul George scored like 40 on him. You had Paul George scoring 40 points on him. Where was he at?
Right.
Ben Simmons, honestly, dog, Shake Milton and them boys, them young bulls on that team, they're better than Ben Simmons, dog. What's
his name? What's his name?
How they doing this?
Another one.
What is Cap?
Yep. No, Ben Simmons been terrible this year, dude. If the Sixers didn't have Embiid balling or Tobias or Shake Milton, because see, Doc getting them young boys right. He coaching them. Every time they come off the floor, he coaching the young boys. Because them boys want it. Ben Simmons ain't that guy, dog. He just light-skinned and from Australia. That's the only reason why he can't win. That's it. Really, that's it. And he's 6'10". Like, he's not that good. He wasn't good at LSU. I told him.
Back to the Australian Outback.
By the way, I heard that the Nets was getting screwed over too today.
Yeah, but they won.
They won.
Yeah, no, but I heard he was getting screwed over with all the they
always get screwed over. Kyrie know they getting screwed. Kyrie got fouled a bunch of times in the Celtics game the other night. He just got up, came down court, wet Jason Tatum, wet Marcus Smart, wet the whole Boston team, and they won the game. He know they ain't gonna get no call.
Like today, Kevin Durant was more of a facilitator. He only took like 7 shots.
Right. But that's what he came off the bench. He came off the bench, right? Because they listened to me. I told you.
Exactly. This is what we should do. Let him work himself into a rhythm.
They got to come off the bench because he's on like minute restrictions.
Right.
Yeah, but still, it's best to work himself into a rhythm.
He can play longer in the game down the stretch.
Right. Y'all see, he could do like Ginobili. That's what I'm saying. That's all I've been saying. If they play him like Ginobili until the playoffs, dog, you preserve KD. But if you put him out there right away starting, dog, he gonna get hurt right away. You gotta ease him back in. I mean, that's your franchise.
Work himself into the rhythm. Let him work himself into the rhythm.
They did that with AD. They did that with AD, trying to like get him back up to speed and let him like come off the bench for a minute. Right. But when they had ramped him up to like 20-some minutes, and I'm like, they stupid because I'm like, you're risking him getting hurt right before the end of the playoffs start, and this dude had already hit the ground in 2 games. He didn't hit the ground like 8 times, tripping, players falling all over. Is he gonna get up?
Yep.
I'm like, this dude don't know how to play the game and stay on his feet. I don't think I've ever seen Anthony Davis hit a layup and stay on his feet.
And Drummond
hit the layup and he all on the ground. I'm like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? He tripping over players.
Drummond is so terrible. Drummond is so trash. The big penguin, dog.
Oh yeah, big old penguin, man. You see him about to fight somebody the other night. He's squaring up. Let's box. Because he's come on, penguin.
Hey, T, that was your old player, dog. The Penguin, Detroit, baby.
That guy.
That guy.
Don't claim that guy.
No, that's his good name. Many times. When they had Stuckey, they had a bunch of players. They was making a run. I was like, man, we doing real good out here, man. And then it was him. People didn't realize it was his butt not showing up every time. I'm like, no, all you needed to do was boxes. Can you block somebody? Damn. You ain't even had to get 20. Stuckey them was putting up like 30 there, like damn near 30 apiece.
Man, I like this Stuckey. I like Stuckey.
We had Stuckey. We had the other guy, dog guard, who was a good defender. I forgot his name. He wasn't a good shooter. But
Stanley
Johnson. Yeah. Stanley was, man, great defender. We had Stuckey, then we had Ish Smith. And I was like, man, we doing well. I'm like, we should just be starting Ish, though. Because I'm like, he a true point guard. We need that. We got to get Drummond, together. Man, it was all Drummond. I knew it. I watched the game. I went all the way to Detroit to watch y'all lose like this to the Bulls. I was mad as hell.
Right.
Those some dark years, man. Some dark years.
We were better than the Bulls. I'm like, man, we way better than these bums. I watched Drummond live, and I was like, man, I wish I could throw this drink and hit him with it.
It's like they would go to the playoffs and get swept. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I don't want to see y'all like this. That's not good. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, this is not a team that's on the climb. This is a team that's middle of the road to declining. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all doing? And then we trade for Blake Griffin. It's like, oh, come on, just blow it up already. Blow it up.
Right. Well, hey, don't feel bad, dog. The Magic, we've been sucking for a long time, boy. So don't feel bad.
Yeah, Magic hasn't been good since what 2010.
10. Yep.
But he had a possible chance of beating the Celtics, but the Celtics was just.
Well, we had
that whole tree. I'm like, bro, get these dudes out of here. Like,
we had Oladipo and Payton, but they kept getting hurt because that was our backcourt, and they was balling when they was in the backcourt. They just kept getting hurt. Because Fournier was coming off, because we got Fournier from Denver. He was coming off the bench, and we had Oladipo at the 2, and then sometimes Oladipo would run the point.
But I do like how there's teams like that hasn't been like real, that hasn't been like good in like 2 decades, like Charlotte and stuff is like contenders now, like in the playoffs.
Yeah.
In Indiana Pacers and.
But I knew Charlotte would be straight because y'all had Rozier, then y'all brought Gordon over there.
Like, y'all got to whip. Y'all the thing is, they always like the 8th seed if they come in the playoff. Charlotte, that's what I'm like. Charlotte been in the Alls. The Pacers always in the Alls.
Yep.
So I'm like, there's nothing really new that's taking place here.
None.
Everything is normally like Charlotte normally come in the 8th seed and they get spanked in the first round.
Yeah.
And then they never go nowhere. Then you have Indiana. They normally lose in the first round.
Sometimes it's the Magic, Indiana, and Charlotte. They all switch places every other year.
Yeah.
Throw the Wizards in there like every third year.
Yeah.
You just gotta have to understand, like, we living out here, like, I witnessed, like, the energy of just Charlotte, like, when there was the Bobcats, like, nobody gave a damn, bro.
Yeah, but they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs, especially that team with Steven Jackson and them. They got to the playoffs, but they always been 8th seeds, even with Muggsy Bogues and them. They was like in the 6th, 7th, 8th seed. That's just
the only time they something is when they beat. I don't think they beat the Knicks. I think they beat the Celtics.
Yeah, it was the Celtics. Alonzo Mourning in the game when they shot him.
Oh, right.
And what
hit
happened
the 3-pointer
that,
falling down.
Yeah, he hit that little jumper from the free throw line, and they tackled him and all that. And what happened after that, because that was actually the last game of Kevin McHale's career.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was in '93. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is he threw an out of bounds play to D Brown for the dunk, and it should have counted. He threw it from out of bounds. He caught the ball and dunked it. And
they got cheated. They got cheated.
Oh yeah, because that wasn't. They didn't know how to like consider that.
You can't throw the ball in bounds on the oop. That's. Or at least you couldn't back then, I don't think.
Yeah, you couldn't back then, but I think early 2000s you can get that off. So
yeah,
not early. I think it was like early 2000s.
Tried to say the clock should have started when it touched D Brown's hands, and then that was it. Game over. They wanted Charlotte to advance, so it was right. That was the whole purpose. Like, we building up Charlotte, so they wanted, Boston's old. Let's get them out of here.
Right.
Actually won that game.
They did.
Because they tried to do the same thing in the Orlando versus Lakers finals, where I think they tried to do an inbound alley-oop to Courtney Lee.
Yeah,
but they couldn't keep this team together. Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson beefing, and then Larry Johnson got hurt, and he wasn't never really the same Larry Johnson after that
injury.
Messed up his back.
Messed up his back.
Man, he was through. Like his whole
What up?
I know.
But LJ's career was like that because he was like Derrick Rose. They were late when it came to working out.
Yeah.
It was all athleticism with them. They rarely worked out. They didn't treat their bodies well like Mourning did. Mourning was always, a fitness guy eating fruits.
Always in the gym,
Yeah, and the same thing. He tried to tell Larry, look, man, hey, LJ, man, you gotta put these candy bars down, man. You eat too much junk food, drinking sodas. That stuff ain't gonna be good for you out here on the court, man. That's gonna rob you of everything. So right away, what did they do? They went ahead and they got what's his name from they had got another player like that came in and was helping them out. And they was like, they saw Dale Curry and a couple other guys. They was working with LJ trying to get them on some type of diet and a regimen. But guys didn't have chefs like that, like their own personal cooks. So he was still eating hoagies, sneaking, eating some gummy bears. And, Derrick Rose was like that. When you're young, your metabolism, you can.
You know how Derrick Rose is, though. Eating Harold's chicken, flaming hot, and all that down here. Yeah.
So when Jimmy Butler was saying that to Derrick Rose looking like, how many MVPs?
Exactly, right. He was there. Derrick Rose, he was MVP.
Right.
He wasn't trying to hit nothing.
But then you start seeing it when players get injured, and then it's like, man, you keep getting injured because you ain't treating your body right, and you're doing all these different things, man. Your body needs different fuel out here, especially when you get older. Kobe had to learn. Kobe was like that. Kobe didn't have a diet discipline at that time.
Right.
Yeah. He had to.
He played through his injury, though. I'll give him that.
He would hit the weight. Kobe would hit them weights hard. Kobe would work out hard, but he wasn't eating smart.
Right.
And he started to eat smart. He said, I had to start eating smart because he's like, I was getting exhausted. He's like, I was like, man, I never get tired. He's like, man, I'm getting tired. He's like, your body's changing, man. You're 30.
Yep.
He's like, you're 30.
You do what you used to do. Yep.
Right.
No, when what's the name yawned on the sideline, I'm like, dog, Marc Gasol. Like a couple games ago, I was like, come on, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, but the thing is Trez didn't play. Look, Trez didn't play that game. And they saw it, and nobody knew why Trez wasn't playing. So they were like, man, why did they go with Trez? Trez is dressed to play. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't play. And they still ain't never really told nobody what went on.
He probably got into LeBron. He didn't bring him his bag. And LeBron said, he ain't playing tonight. He didn't bring my bag. That's what happened.
Matter of fact, what's the
No, you ain't bring my favorite bag of wine. You ain't bringing my favorite bag of wine.
Right.
I'm waiting. What's the standings? Matter of fact,
I said I want Stella. I want a Stella Rose. I want a Stella Rose. You brought me Aubrey Miss.
And the thing is, it's 10 more games left.
Bro, this is the longest season. Like this season, why does month feel so long? Like
April did. I mean, for me, it's been long because I didn't do a lot. I had to move.
Yeah.
I had to.
No, I'm talking about it felt like they said they had 20 games. Like it felt like 50.
It feels like 150 to me because I'm betting every single one of them.
I'm like, when is the playoffs?
Games left and right. Now I'm about to start betting on international tennis in a minute.
Oh,
you got a betting problem here.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm about to put you out there with Mike with the betting. With Jordan, I'm about to put you out there with that betting problem.
He about to do that.
Betting on croquet and stuff. I'm like, what is you doing?
Come on, Barclay.
Like, you don't even know who he is.
We need one.
Like, you don't even know who this dude is. He's like, come on, dude.
He was betting that Chinese basketball at 4 in the morning. I'm like, man, I can't become this guy. Next thing you know, I'm moving him to the side. Get out of the way. I gotta get my bet. Them flying dragons. Let's go, baby. Flying dragons.
Yeah, next thing you know,
basketball. That's why.
Right, next thing you know, Cino probably gonna end up betting on rugby or something.
Shoot.
Betting on cricket. He be betting on cricket.
Cricket. I bet cricket, man. I'm never betting on cricket again. That things take like 6 days to find out who won. I mean, damn, what the hell going on?
See, told y'all.
Cricket go all night. I'm gonna hit cricket outside. By the time this game is over.
Man, he about to start betting on
the
lacrosse. It's like lacrosse.
LB, the Nets and the Jazz clinched playoff berth tonight.
Yeah.
The Nets And the
and the
Jazz.
Jazz.
But the
Yeah.
Jazz been clinched.
Yeah, Jazz clinched a while ago. Yeah, the Nets I think clinched on the night.
Nets clinched tonight, but it wasn't they were never in no doubt of making the playoffs.
Oh no.
The Nets is just coasting
be-
right now because they know
we
they're
knew
gonna get
be
screwed. They're gonna try to screw them over for the next 10 games. So it's like,
So
yeah,
if the Nets,
everybody's saying the 76ers will put out the Nets. The Nets better look out for them 76ers. I'm like, man, ain't nobody worried about them.
I don't think the Nets. I think the only team that probably can mess with them is probably the Bucks, and if the Heat are healthy. But other than that, I don't really see much. Yeah, and the Knicks.
and the Knicks, bro. Because
the Knicks is the sleeper. If the Knicks
bro,
took out
the
the
Knicks,
Nets, that will be the craziest thing I ever seen.
Hey man, the Knicks are in the 4th seed right now, dog. Hey,
Yeah.
The Knicks took out the Nets.
The Knicks are dangerous.
Tough.
The Knicks, if they play the Nets, that's going to be the dangerous thing. That's the team they need to avoid.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
I don't want them to play the first round.
Get
Like,
around.
that's the thing. I've been wanting them to like get like. Where's the Knicks right now? On the
4th seed. They're in the 4th seed.
All right, so they good. So they wouldn't even face the Nets until like second round or third or the conference.
That ain't good for the Nets. The Nets don't. The Nets' best matchup is if they play like somebody else. If the Knicks are gonna give them so many problems. Nobody gonna stop Randall. Randall gonna kill him.
Right.
I want
If
Knicks
you a
and
team
Nets
that's
in the
scoring a lot on
conference.
the inside, you gonna get a net some problems.
Mm-hmm.
You can score on the
So they're
inside.
the 4th seed. The 5th seed is who?
The 5th seed is the Atlanta Hawks.
So that's who they play the first round.
Yeah,
they're gonna beat the Hawks.
They'll be able. Yeah, they'll beat it.
Yeah, I want the Hawks out of here anyway. You already know my agenda.
Anyway,
You already know my agenda with the Atlanta Hawks.
I think Trey Young hurt for a while. I think.
Oh, and he hurt. Oh,
Not coming to New York.
They finished.
No, I told y'all who y'all getting.
Yeah, they won a game.
Is Dennis Schroeder?
I don't want it. Like, no, that made me mad and depressed when you said that. I was like, please be wrong about this.
Yeah, right. You gonna start hearing it more and more.
I'm like, yeah, you had me thinking like, yo, like the one is coming. Like, who's the one?
The one piece they want, Dennis Schroeder.
We getting talking about the one over here. We getting
the one, man.
Like, what?
Y'all about to get the
I was at least trying to hold out hope for like Lonzo Ball or something like that. For y'all. But Shayna
I'm thinking we gonna get the one. Carcio talk about we getting Cole Young. Like no, bro.
Cole Young.
You might as well say it's Cole Young. Cole Young gonna be a point
guard. Dennis Schroeder.
You said Kobayashi?
Point guard.
Cole Young. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Kobayashi.
The thing is, y'all got Quickly, but Quickly needs to come off the bench.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Quickly is not going to be the starting guy. I like his thing. I like his motivation. I like everything about him. He's real confident.
Listen. New York don't care about none of that. You better ball your ass out if you come in over here.
Well, Schroeder gonna give you 20 and 14 easy.
Schroeder gonna ball for them.
I don't know 20 and 14 guards either.
Schroeder's
Yo, what's up, y'all?
Schroeder's been this year though.
I'm hearing some Knicks talk. Hold on. Hey, Lucino, man, that was messed up. How you betted on the Suns and we lost, man.
What? Yeah, I mean, I was not gonna beat Phoenix.
I told you the Suns was gonna beat the Knicks. I was like, I ain't betting on the Knicks tonight. I told you to bet the Suns. What you talking
Yeah,
about?
man. It was only because of Chris Paul he came alive. I was like, man, this man Chris Paul was quiet the whole game.
Y'all could not guard Devin Booker, bro. I'm like, what is
At all. Bullock was actually locking up Devin Booker, man. He was like giving him some trouble.
Man, Chris Paul hit them like that bailout shot.
Man, that man was hitting up. He was hitting some crazy shots, man. I was like,
Randall let y'all down. Randall shot y'all in the hole because he was broke.
Yeah, he did.
He was good in the first quarter, then he went broke. He was cold for like 3 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he does deserve at least one bad game. You know what I'm saying? But we should have definitely had that. It's always that we need that second person to step up. That's what we need. So quickly, he was doing his thing. He was doing his thing in the third quarter towards the fourth. He's gonna be a very good 6-man. I'm telling you, he's gonna be like that
that's
Lou
what I'm
Williams.
saying. That's why when y'all get Dennis Schroeder, that is the
That's
song.
what I was. Oh my! That's what I was saying. We need Dennis Schroeder, man.
Yeah,
That's the
Schroeder,
person we
Yeah,
need.
that's what I told you. He doesn't need it.
According
I don't know
to
what this
LB,
guy's
LB
saying.
don't want him.
I don't know what this guy's saying in the
I
chat.
don't know
Schroeder's been balling this shit for y'all. Y'all
Yeah,
He
probably
don't want him.
Schroeder's been
Bro,
balling
I
for
just
this
want.
Schroeder's been
I'm just
balling.
looking for a deity. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a deity to run the point guard. Like
he can run the point.
He can run the point.
Dog, why you
We
think
need a
Kerr throwing that
second
money?
scorer.
He want
We need
that
a point
name,
guard.
man. He just want that big name. That's what he wants.
Right.
Dennis Schroeder's
That's
gonna
what
get
he
$100
wants.
million with the Knicks.
I would definitely pay him that.
I don't know if I
I
would
don't
pay him
want
no
Lonzo.
$100
I don't know
million.
what paying that.
I mean, the thing is, we could pay for we.
Dog, he just turned
You
down.
gotta think.
What you
The
mean
Knicks have the
pay
money.
$100 million? What you mean? Draymond Green getting $100 million?
Yeah,
He
that's
averaging
true.
triple
That's
figures.
true.
What the hell y'all talking about? What the hell you talking about?
They showed his numbers before the game tonight. His numbers are atrocious, dog. It's like,
What
how
y'all
are
talking
you?
about? You don't know you're paid
Because
Schroeder $100 million. Man, you watch your third line.
Listen,
You
I don't
see,
want Lonzo.
$100 million.
you see what's going got $100 million? Oh,
Right.
used to play for Orlando Magic.
Like
And he at Miami Heat now. I
6
forgot his
points,
name.
6 rebounds, and like 7 assists a game.
Oladipo.
Exactly.
Yeah, Oladipo got $100 million and he stay hurt.
Yeah, he does.
That's true.
Hey, God, I mean, you don't know if you're paying Schroeder $100 million. Man, you better give that.
Just like, yeah, you got me. You got me there.
You better give that blonde hair roach. That blonde.
Hey, Cino, I know you see D Rose balling, man.
Yeah,
Shoot,
D-Rose.
what that y'all got going on?
D Rose is great in his position because he's got a veteran leadership. He come in and
Better
get
give that Men in Black Roach $100 million.
Yeah. You think they should bring it back?
African
Bring
booties.
D-Rose back?
That's exactly what he is.
Well, I can't hear you.
Exactly
What
what
you
he
say,
is.
Cino?
I would
I
give it.
don't
I
know
would
if
keep
D-Rose is
Rose.
coming back. I think he
I
might.
mean, he likes the Knicks. Like the way how he be.
Man, look here.
What's
The Knicks
happening with
better
your
show him the
baby?
money.
Oh, the Knicks is versus
The Knicks better show
the
D-Rose
Chicago
the money.
Bills. Bulls.
Mancino.
Yo,
All right, in about, let's say, 9 hours from now, I'm on the verge of making history, man, for my company, man. We're going for the gauntlet.
all right.
I'm trying to
There
be
we
the
go.
first executive black man to represent for my hotel. I already got the highest earning gross.
All right.
Hotel.
Yes, sir.
So we
What I'm
about to make
talking about, baby. Progress.
Salute that man. Salute that man.
Look, I just
Go
want
ahead,
to give a big
Sledge.
thank you to you because I was just talking about this with a coworker of mine. You know, I was like, look, we need more black people inspiring us to do even greater things. You know what I mean?
That's
And
true.
I mentioned your videos, and I said, look, man, the game that Casino gives is free of charge. When you subscribe,
Some of
it's for free. For real, like,
About 3 years ago, but yeah.
It's to subscribe.
Yeah, man. And then you get it back on your taxes, man. You file on your taxes, man.
For
Sure.
real. For real. Like, it's nothing to hit that subscribe button for free and get uplifted. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
For real. You know, get motivated. And same thing with you, HD. I see your videos, man. I be seeing your serious content you be putting out there. You're not afraid either.
Him and Cino's been killing it.
HD getting some stuff from like, I'm like,
man, HD be going in, man. I love it. I love it.
I didn't even know. I don't hit these stories. I don't even know it. I'm like, what part of
man, HD done.
What city is that? I ain't never heard of.
HD done reinventing himself, man. He done reinventing him. It used to be Live Boy, now it's DZ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Most definitely that RNS, that is definitely something to listen to, man.
You know what I mean? And that's important. You know what I'm saying? So I salute both of y'all, man, for real, because
Oh yeah, y'all both killing it. Y'all both killing it, man.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, we
Yes, sir.
need that. The
What's
world
Andre?
needs that.
Yeah,
So
I'm
salute
trying,
to both
dog.
of y'all, man.
Most definitely.
Especially you, Cino, because I talked about my favorite all-time video from you. You know, racism in the workplace or in the
That
In
thing
workplace.
just came up
That's
again, and that was on the like suggested list on one of the videos. I'm like, there's my factory worker video I made like 6 years ago.
Yeah, man, but look, that video,
it's true though.
yo, that video, I'm telling you, that video changed everything for me. I was working in the warehouse as a logistics manager for Avalon Industries. Going
Right.
and like I said, it was a transitional period. So when I caught that video, I was like, man, I really peeped what you were saying. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's time for me to start really moving out here. And I had no fear, because the fear is what holds us back from being great.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
is.
You gotta have that motivation. You gotta have that confidence about
Yeah,
yourself
man.
and just go.
Yeah.
Instead of doubting yourself, just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
saying.
what I had troubled with it as well too. But you know, you just gotta get at it.
Yeah, like even in the hotel
And then,
industry
you
and
know,
hospitality, I get so much hate. I've been in the game for 4 years. I started from the ground up as an agent and moved up. They was I get more flack from black people, unfortunately. They say, damn, how'd you move
they
up
be your
that
own people
fast?
sometimes.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
Like, you must be selling out. I'm like, no, I'm me. You see the locks? My hair ain't
Right.
You selling out.
Like what's the catch? What's the catch?
Right.
I said, what's the catch?
Well, you know,
I was like,
you
look,
got
I'm gonna
them.
say
You got
something my
them.
grandmother used to say. You know, my grandmother used to say, man, you better believe in yourself like you believe in God. If you believe in God, you believe in yourself. And you go for
Right.
it. And then when you got support like from guys like Carcino who tell you to do this in most of his videos, who push you to do this, you don't got no choice but to win. You know what I mean?
Right. Just
Right.
don't gamble like me.
Yeah.
Listen, cash is in your name, so I know you got $5,
Gamble
man.
like Cino.
You know you got money, cash.
I be scared to get at that table, man, because I can't drop dough like Cino, man.
Man,
like I told
Cino.
AT, I told you, I said that Cino money hit different when he hit your town.
It do.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, I'm trying to get like Cino too, man. I'm trying to get like Cino and Paul Pierce.
Yeah,
Man.
look at you, man.
He said like Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. You see Paul Pierce video?
Oh yeah, you see Paul Pierce with the weed?
You see
Nah,
Paul Pierce video? You see what he working on? Paul got a whole thing of trees, baby.
Oh man. Well, he's in the marijuana business. Oh shoot.
Paul Pierce
in that video. I'm like, get him, like Paul was on his stuff.
They
Man,
don't
Cino
call
need to start a grape company, man.
What company?
Grapes. Grape company.
Grapes?
That's funny. That's funny, bro.
Oh, with that female.
I remember that.
Oh, duh.
Everybody gonna go back to that Smash and Dash video.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Smash and Dash.
That was a funny video,
And I'm like, man, she was snoring. I was like, she was snoring up a store. She wasn't lying. She was like, hey,
Man, Cino, that means you put it down on it. That's what happened.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, beforehand.
If she was snoring before.
She was snoring.
Like, she told me beforehand, like, I snore. I'm like, okay, well, I snore too. So I'm like, hey, ain't no thing. I'm like, oh, you might be louder than me.
Kind of like two lions,
Oh, that's a turn off a little bit,
like,
man.
The lions
He
did.
said, skirt off a little bit.
Can you imagine that every day?
Yeah,
You gonna hey Valentine, you gonna be waking up looking at her like this.
Right.
For real. We need to give her a mouth guard or something.
For real. And T, man, I got
Hey, Cino, you
man, what's happening?
Yeah, and I had to go back to the grapes. The grapes were great. I'm like, I gotta go back in for these grapes.
They mentioned in the Carcino and the midgets.
Oh man, I remember that. I remember that. Cino dumb, man.
Come on, Terrell. Hey, you ain't no
man.
for that, man.
Them bitches was fine too. Them bitches had body.
They did.
I mean, why
Mad body, boy.
videos like from the friend zone to the end zone? You know what I mean?
Right. Have them spinning in the air and stuff.
Man, you seen,
I would have had them doing them.
Cino. You just seen Cino on little personal tape out there. Cino for life.
Man, I would have had them bitches doing the. Hey, yo, I would have had them bitches doing the damn Mimi, nigga.
He done bought the whole series.
Yeah.
I would have had them bitches doing the Mimi.
I said I gotta support my boy Cino. I got the tapes.